Now, as the founder and business growth strategist, consultant, accountability coach, if you will, of Bootstrap Dreams, that's my company, I have learned so much through trial and error, through paid coaching and consulting of my own, through having services done for me, done with me, and beyond, right? So I come to you not with just a lot of theory and philosophy, with tried and true experiences, gleaning and listening to others, right? To the people that I help and to the people who have helped me, that a roadmap to profit is necessary. And here's why. When we do not, when we do not, I repeat, when we do not make sales in our businesses rather, they become extremely expensive and emotionally tormenting and physically draining. Some people say hobbies, but hobbies are typically things that you enjoy. When you have something that is so costly and it is ripping you away from your family, it is ripping you away from your friends, it is ripping you out of financial wellness, that's not a hobby that you want to keep, right? So then it becomes something that you resent and it becomes exasperating. And as a second time entrepreneur, first time full time entrepreneur, after 15 years of experience in small business and state government, becoming, right, an independent project manager, business consultant, director of operations, and all that's ways that I help people through project management. I want to tell you, to share with you how important it is to charge in your business, and not to charge without integrity, and not to charge without understanding and without a strategy, if you will, right? An offer suite is something that I teach. But charging right, charging well, is what is actually going to help you make a profit, is what's going to help you make money. I can charge $1 for what I do every day and sleep just fine. But is it going to pay for all the things that I need in my day-to-day life, in my day-to-day business? Is it going to be true to my reality? No, it's not. I would need how many thousands of people to pay into that $1, right? And that's where we get into the topic of scaling, which I won't dive into too much today. But I want to encourage you. You can still serve and you can still help by making the ask and requiring people to pay. All right, so we have a new group name, Roadmap to Profit. We have a new shared uniqueness as sisters in entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurs, and we are Journey Sisters. And in this community, I want you to activate your motivation by thinking through these 3 things, okay? So think about these 3 things. In your business, who is your audience? You're probably saying, oh no, Tawana, not you too, right? Listen, I've had to reevaluate this for myself. And so recently, right? My business made a pivot, right? I'm recovering. From not having, charged enough in my business, from thinking sales was sleazy. And because of that came along this journey, this roadmap to profit, and this passion, this mission-based experience and opportunity, if you will, to help other women entrepreneurs like yourselves understand the importance of making money, making a profit, so that you can live thriving and not just surviving in your form of serving, of helping, right? So evaluating your audience, who is it that you intend to serve? Who is it that has a need, right? Me, primarily. This doesn't exclude. This isn't focused on excluding anybody, and this is not to say I won't ever work with anybody out of this category. But my story speaks to, my help moves women entrepreneurs. To get even more specific, there are women entrepreneurs who need clarity, right? They often don't know where to start, who need an increase in confidence, okay? They've been doing all the things for everyone else, but then they don't feel adequate enough to do it in their own business, right? And then commitment, continuity, and consistency, and knowing the difference, right? We can get even more specific. They are women entrepreneurs, perhaps those who are employed, right? Employed full-time, who have the pace to grow their business, right? They are not scrambling for air. They're not suffocating by being choked out because they don't have any money and they're scared about how they're going to make it, right? They are the entrepreneurs who want to launch their extraordinary ideas. The ones who say, I know how to do what I do, and I know how to do what I do well. I have trouble orchestrating it in a way that doesn't require so much of my time, so much of my effort, and I want to build up a team so we can deliver it in a more efficient and effective way, right? And we can go even. What I will encourage you is that knowing who your audience is going to help you activate your motivation, because you're going to feel comfortable. You're going to feel confident and excited about speaking to them, right? The next thing I'd like for you to consider when activating your motivation is, who are you interested in connecting with? Now, you may be saying, Tawana, didn't you just say who they were? Not the same thing. right? Who I want to connect with is not necessarily my client avatar, but it is my community. It is how, right, I will help others and why I am supporting them, right? It is the feeling that I want the women in this community to have by us sharing space together, by doing business together, by referring one another, by absolutely thriving, right, in our areas of experience. Some like to say expertise. Sometimes I use them interchangeably. It just depends on the day and what we're doing, right? So for this community, Roadmap to Profit, it's about women entrepreneurs, right, who desire to connect, to build community, so that they don't feel alone and grow personally and professionally. Because to me, and you will hear me say this again and again, they are not so isolated, right? I want to connect with women entrepreneurs who are emerging and established, both of them. Both of them. You know why? Because you can be a six-figure or whatever earner and be full-time employed just launching as an entrepreneur, right? You can be an existing business owner from the bottom up or in it for years already and have another extraordinary idea that you're trying to launch, but you're like, you know what? I cannot do all of it. That woman who still has to combat the mindset trash that helps keep her bound, a prisoner, if you will, of her flaws, right? Thank goodness for notes, right? Rather than going forward and giving her goodness and experience to others worry free. I don't care where you are in your business opportunity. I don't care where you are in your life. With every level, you may encounter a new devil, right? You won't have the same excuses that you used to, but you'll find some new things that will try to stop you. And so it's important that you get outside of yourself and you get outside of your head so that you can go forward with the great thing that you have to offer in the way that only you can. The world around you needs you to show up. Activate your motivation. I am looking to connect with daughters, sisters, companions, mothers, aunts, cousins, friends, right? Who have moral support. Maybe you don't, but many of us have moral support from the people that we sincerely love. Yet sometimes, or if we're being honest, oftentimes, they just don't understand what we're doing and why we do it. Why did we take on all the risk in entrepreneurship? Allow me to encourage you, Journey Sisters. Moral support is just as, if not more significant, than the paying client. And here's why. Entrepreneurship ebbs and flows. And the one thing constant in life, period, is change. And so if the money side is ebbing, you need that moral support to be flowing, right? And if the moral support side is ebbing, you need that financial side, right, to be flowing. At the end of the day, it's all currency, and they're both essential. They are both essential. So do not mistake that only making money should be your priority, because you will get to a place where you have a whole bunch of money, but you will have no one to trust, no one to share it with, and access to a whole lot of life experiences. You'll be alone when you do them. So this community is about those women who want, desire, seek community, connection, referrals even, right? No like and trust factor is real in business. This community is about connecting with women entrepreneurs who are seeking to stop doing all the things themselves so that they can actually grow, build, and fill in the blank, ladies, you know the S word, scale, right? One of the things that we help entrepreneurs do in this community, not just learn, but how to implement that value, right? And one of the services that excites me the most in my business is the virtual assistant referral services. Helping entrepreneurs, business owners, align with virtual professionals to accomplish all of the amazing goals, all of the amazing strategies, all of the amazing software, systems, tools, and tech that you need to thrive, particularly in an online business setting. No one person can do everything, nor should you have to. Doing business solo just doesn't have to be. You don't have to change your entity status if you're a solo entrepreneur, right? A sole proprietor. Living life in community is something that you can activate, right? It's something that you can start doing. And if you're already doing it, you can keep optimizing that opportunity, that strategy, that experience. It is so worth living. This community, right? When we talk about activating your motivation, and I really hope that this helps you activate something within you. It's about women entrepreneurs who are not threatened by the idea and or actuality that another woman entrepreneur is experiencing and or currently achieving something that they, right, that you long to experience and or achieve. Community over competition. If you want to do something yourself, do it alone, right? If you want to do something fast, do it alone. If you want to go farther and you want to experience life personally and or professionally, go together. Do it together. That doesn't mean compromise to the extent that you lose your integrity. That doesn't mean compromise to the extent that you forget what it is that you were supposed to be doing in the first place. That doesn't mean, right, to be so influenced beyond your core values that you cause yourself tremendous hardship. Okay? This is about knowing when one wins, everybody wins. And understand that the payout will show up in various kinds of compensation. Okay? Who else are we connecting with here? What else can motivate us every day? Other women entrepreneurs who absolutely know that what they've experienced and what they have learned, right? Sweat, bled, and cried for, right? Paid for through trainings and courses and all kinds of, development programs, short-term and long-term. Life experiences, the good, bad, and the unpretty. These are women entrepreneurs who want to learn and share and grow with one another, celebrating one another, cheering one another on, because they realize they matter and they're significant, right? This is about feeling genuinely supported and appreciated. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a business community, so we're going to talk about many, many, many business things, right? We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about growth. We're going to talk about systems and tools and techs. And we're going to talk about accounting and bookkeeping. And we're going to talk about branding. And we're going to talk about all these amazing things, legal matters even. We're going to talk about all of them. We're also going to talk about the importance of feeling supported, of being aligned, of not being alone in your entrepreneurial journey. The last thing, remember I said 3 things. The last thing I would like to encourage you to think about as you activate your motivation today, this week, this month, this quarter, the remainder of this year and beyond, is why who you are, what you do, and the community around you is good for your business, is good for your goals, is good, right? Is comprehensive. Because often we give, right? Whether we're introverts or extroverts, and sometimes we're both. I can be on like I am right now, and y'all, let me tell you, I can cut all the way off. And you've experienced that. You've seen that. When I'm off, I'm off. And I'm not apologetic about it, right? Because I'm human. I'm not a machine. You're human. You're not machines. And I want you to think about why this community, why your business, why you are good. Because we give often. We don't always get anything back. And it's not that we're always looking. It's that we were created to experience reciprocity. And so the first principle, right, that I'd like to encourage you is to live life in community. Plant seeds, period. Plant seeds. The second principle I'd like to encourage you is that you may not reap where you sow. So the first principle is to plant seeds, period, right? Plant seeds. The second principle is to know that you may not reap where you sow, and that's okay. You may not reap where you sow, and that's okay. The third principle is that either way, you will reap. What? Isn't that amazing to know? No matter what we do, no matter where we show up, if we just do our part, the rest is taken care of, right? Don't look for any one person to be the sole solution, the sole answer to your life, to your business. You know why? Because you couldn't be that for them. It's unrealistic, right? However, by knowing who your audience is, by knowing who you're interested in connecting with, and by understanding why this group, this business, your life is good for you, right? It's good for you. You will be able to activate your motivation, not just on Mondays, but each day. And each day, the activation will look differently. It will show up differently. The timing will be needed differently. Yet you can activate it, right? You can activate it. And if you ever need help activating that motivation, you have this community. You have me, Tawana, your community host and accountability coach with Bootstrap Dreams, to help you along the journey. We're looking for guest speakers, opportunities for our Friday events. And we want you to have the opportunity to teach us, to grow with us, and to share more about your business. So in the comments, let us know you were here and let us know your why so that we can support you, cheer you on, right? And know with whom to connect, whether it's for ourselves or for your ideal customer, your audience,